Any mention for unlisted matter? Any mention for unlisted matter? From the main list, item number 1.
May I please your lordships.
This is the
status report. Your
our
lordship.
situation.
Yes, your lordship.
Appears to have improved.
It has improved, your lordship.
But not completely, but there is a high
happen
priority
overnight.
still going
It
on.
can't happen overnight.
Lordship.
There is if this is a electricity deficient state. So whether they buy, whether they produce, it will take some time.
Lordship.
Plus the other thing is that in another matter, which is completely unconnected, the state of Meghalaya had entered into an agreement with NTPC, I suppose,
Yes, your lordship.
for the purpose of minimum guaranteed purchase, which the state failed, and NTPC has levied a huge claim running into several hundreds of crores. Now, we've asked both parties to sit down and negotiate, and even last week NTPC came and said that they have, they're negotiating and they've scaled down the demand and they're seeing what else can be done. So if something else can be done over there, it costs money. And money has to be, there have to be available resources. You just can't, the government does not have a tap with continuous flowing water. It's we fill up the tank from which the water comes to the tap. Now we are not filling the tank up properly. All right, so you can't expect things to change overnight.
As of now, your lordship, the gap between the demand and supply is only 13%, your lordship.
13%.
Yes, approximately.
13% is a considerable amount.
Considerable
It's a
improvement, your lordship.
Considerable amount.
Improvement.
You first have to advise the state to insulate all the emergency services.
Yes, your lordship.
Hospitals, then government things, buildings, where servers are used, where internet, the police machinery,
Correct.
connectivity with the police, that is very important. And we don't know why there is unrest. The state was very peaceful.
Yes, your lordship.
Suddenly there is a lot of unrest because of probably aspirations not being met. It could also be fomenting, but we do not want to interfere in this, but we are taking notice of all this. There has to be a level. Yes, you have demands, but you don't carry out the demands by
Violence.
threatening. You don't carry out the demands by resorting to mob
violence.
pressure. You have to do it by persuasion. You have to do it by dialogue. You have to do it in a kind of a gentlemanly atmosphere. You cannot become unruly and then put the gun to the head and say this has to be done. One has to understand governance also. A status report has been filed by the state, and the state submits that the shortfall in demand has now been reduced to 13%
Approximately.
across the state. Full stop. Paragraph. Such shortfall is quite significant, and the state would do well to ensure that the entirety of the shortfall is removed within reasonable time. Full stop. At the same time, comma, both the petitioner and the citizens should understand that these measures have a gestation gap and take some time and cannot be addressed overnight. Full stop. There are revenue and expense issues, infrastructure, project issues, and at the end of the day, matters of policy. Full stop. Paragraph. However, the state may be well advised to look into the prospect of setting up small water-based power plants in view of the hilly terrain, the heavy rains, and the availability of flowing water for most part of the year. Full stop. Smaller power projects would also ensure that large deforestation need not be resorted to. Full stop. In places, the terrain is tailor-made for small hydro projects. Full stop. At other places, existing hydro projects may be augmented. Full stop. Paragraph. A blueprint requires to be prepared as to the steps necessary to be taken with empirical studies on the expected demand, say 5 years or 15 years down the line, and the steps necessary to be taken by the state to meet such increased demand over a period of time. Full stop. There is no band-aid solution which may be resorted to in this case. Full stop. Paragraph. It is hoped that the outlines of a long-term plan to ensure that there is no deficit of electricity in the state after, say, 5 or 8 years, should be presented to court when the matter appears next. 6 weeks hence. Full stop. Paragraph. For the limited purpose of meeting the immediate demand, the state should also explore the possibilities of availing of power from the open grid or from other central power agencies which have excess supply available. Full stop. Give it a date, 6 weeks hence.
Lordship, we have given the measures that we are taking, the large immediate measures.
We've seen that. These are wishy-washy measures with a bureaucrat while preparing.
These are all ongoing projects.
This is, madam, while preparing an affidavit, some imagination has been used to say this. This is not what an expert body would prepare a blueprint. We are not asking for the entirety of your blueprint, but if you have an expert body with people from administration, from power, from other areas, maybe even environment, because that is also an issue over here, you'll be able to draw a better blueprint. This is just, an intelligent IAS officer preparing an affidavit, nothing more.
And the Ganol Hydel project will also be functioning from the 1st of August, Your Lordship.
Which one?
The Ganol.
Ganor. It's in Garo Hills.
Very well. It is recorded that the state submits that the Ganor Hydel power
It's already been synchronized to the
has
grid.
already been synchronized and will be commencing generation
Commissioned from the 1st of August.
and is expected to be commissioned on August 1, 2023. Full stop. More such projects are necessary. Yes.
First place close.
Item number 2.
May it please your Lordship. Lordship, the learned DSGI is out of station. Lordship.
Why? He has taken an adjournment in a case where we've expressed our view,
I bow
and
down,
he
Lordship.
chooses to go out of station for a jaunt today. This is that NDPS case.
Yes, Lordship.
Since counsel for the union is not available, comma, let the matter appear 10 days hence. Full stop. The union should ensure that the matter is not adjourned any further. Yes.
Obliged, Lordship.
Obliged, Your Lordship. Item number 3.